Hi, this is Chris with Athos Arts with a brief introduction to using Word styles in your manuscript. So if you're watching this, you're probably wondering why Word uses so much space up at this top toolbar for a feature that very few people use or know how to use. Well, styles are important with your manuscript. They're essential when it comes time to move your manuscript from Microsoft Word into typesetting software such as Adobe InDesign or ebook software such as Sigil, because the style definitions allow that software to apply a design to a manuscript. Now, this manuscript that I have in front of me, it's a couple chapters, at least, from a manuscript from author Catherine Jones Payne. Catherine's the author of the novel Breakwater, which is the first book in the series. The manuscript that I have is for the sequel. The sequel is titled Cross Current. I did the interior design for Breakwater a while back. I'll post a link to this book, and I'd appreciate it if you'd click on it. And I want to thank Catherine for letting me use her manuscript to make this video. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to click right here to open up the Styles window. And this manuscript has no styles applied to it at all. If I look at the style inspector right there, you'll see that the whole text uses the normal style definition. It has the default text level style, and then all of the formatting is done as an override to those styles. What that means is all of the formatting is done using these buttons and not using this. That's what we're going to change. We're going to make this manuscript a fully stylized manuscript that has no loose formatting in it whatsoever. So we're going to get started now. Looking through the manuscript, I see there are 4 elements that I want to define styles for. I want the chapter titles. I want the main body of text, which I'm going to leave as normal. There are some scene breaks right here. We'll do a new style for that. And then there's also some character level formatting that we'll put under emphasis, and we'll use the existing emphasis one here. So I'm going to start by cleaning this up, and what that means is I'm going to just remove a lot of these styles from the toolbar up here by right-clicking and just say Remove from Style Gallery. I'm going to leave heading up there because I'm going to make that for the chapter titles. I'm going to leave emphasis. I'm going to remove the rest of these. Now you may want to use some of these or define your own. We're going to define one ourselves. So let's go back up to the top. And I'm going to first start by showing you that all of this stuff right here, again, uses the normal formatting. I don't have any italicized text in here, so I'm going to remove all of the overriding formats. And I'm going to do that by clicking here and clicking there. And so this is what normal styled text looks like, at least in this document. Okay, we're going to take chapter 2 here, and we're going to apply the heading style to it. Now we're going to go down to the italics, and one thing I could do is I could just highlight it and apply emphasis, or I can do a find and replace. And what I'm going to search for, let me clear this out to show you. What I'm going to search for is I'm going to find, format, font, and then I'm going to look for italics. And everywhere I find italics, I'm going to replace it with the style. And the style I'm going to replace it with is emphasis. And go find next. There it is. Replace, replace, replace. You can do a replace all, but I like going through manually and doing it because you will often find there are some italicized white space where you probably started making it italics and then changed your mind, and the spaces in between stayed italics. And I'd rather just clean those up and not make those individual spaces emphasis. So that was it. That's done. So I've got chapter 2 here. Let's go and make chapter 3. This is only a 2-chapter sample. I'm going to make chapter 3. I'm going to make that a heading. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just highlight the entire manuscript, and I'm going to delete all of the overrides. So now I have a clean, stylized manuscript that has no overrides in it whatsoever. It's kind of hard to read, but I have it. So let's start by let's add in some spacing around this heading. So I'm going to right click on it and go modify. I go down to format and paragraph, and then I can add some spacing after that. There's spacing before it, but let's add 36 points afterwards. Hit OK. Now there's space after that chapter, and you'll see there's also space after that one. Nice thing about using this heading is defined into the style is an outline level 1. What that means is I can collapse the space between there and just leave it as an outline if I want. Okay, let's also add some let's change this a little bit too. We're going to modify normal, and again we're going to go to format and paragraph, and let's make the line spacing double, which is how it was before. Let's also add a special first line indent of 0.3 of an inch. That's a lot easier to read. Okay. Now we need to go to the break character. Let's add a new style for breaks. So I'm going to go back to my styles window, and I'm going to click right here under new style, and I'm going to call this break. I want it to be a style, a paragraph style. We can leave it based on normal, and I'll just click OK. And so that's now a break style. Let's go ahead and let's make it centered, and I could right click and modify it, or I could just center this using the normal button. Then what I can do is I can right click on break, and I can go update break to match selection, just like that. Now let's give it a little more let's give it a little more space around it. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to click paragraph settings, and let's give it some space before and after, and go OK, and then again right click, update break to match selection. Okay. Now what I can do, I know the breaks are all pound signs, so I'm going to go replace, and instead of looking for italics, I'm going to look for the pound sign, and I'm going to clear the formatting, and I'm going to replace it, instead of with emphasis, I'm going to replace it with break style. I'm going to go find next. That one's already a break style. Go to the next one, replace, and now I'm done. What if I want to highlight the emphasized text? Let's make it, say, red or orange so that it's easier to see. Maybe when you're reading your manuscript or you're editing, you'd like to highlight the parts that are thought characters or emphasized words. So I made that orange. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to again update emphasis to match selection. Now I have my whole manuscript. It's stylized. I've used these 4 specific styles. My emphasis is highlighted, and I can change that again if I change it back when I want to. And I'm good to go. I can put this now into the typesetting software. Now if I go to Adobe InDesign, this is actually the typeset manuscript for Breakwater. you'll see that I've added a lot more styles. So I have paragraph styles here. Now these styles match the styles that you would find in Microsoft Word. I've added several once I get into the typesetting, but doing the basic styles in the Word manuscript makes it a lot easier to import into the typesetting software, and then I can add all of the real flashy styling. So here I have two different styles for the chapter titles. I've got one that I call chapter title and then one called chapter number. I have a character style for the very first character of a chapter called first line. If I go down to this italics, I've got good old-fashioned emphasis. So that's how that translates between Word and your typesetting software. Likewise, if I look in Sigil and I look at maybe the ebook, an ebook is a completely different beast from a print book. It looks a lot more like a self-contained web page, but it has a style sheet, and again, these are the styles defined. So that is a paragraph style, and it defines what the style looks like. So I hope you found this interesting. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I want to thank you for watching, and to learn more about styles, there's a lot of information out there on the web. Just do some Google searches, but this will get you started and show you how to take your manuscript and remove all of the loose formatting and just get it stylized. Thanks again.